Nope. Oh, are we live? Hey, welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday's training. I have some good things in store from you. If you can see from the title, it's all about lenders, how to get your deals funded, private, traditional, hard money. How does it all work for you? I am going to go ahead and make sure we meet here every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. And if you have questions, which I know Christine sent me a couple questions that people had, so I'm going to look those up here. But we are also going to be covering a specific training. So Q&A, we could do this live. I could do your questions answered in the recording. You can come back and do them later. All different ways to make this happen. But being live, you get that instant feedback. So if you can get here at 2:30, put it in your calendar, 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, I would do that so that you don't miss out, okay? Or remind yourself to go back to it later. But today I wanted to talk to you about private money lending, hard money lending, and traditional funding. We did a deep dive training for the Ditch the Bank and Retire Students private group. And I wanted to share basically some footnotes with y'all because it's one of the biggest things that everyone thinks that they need to start with, the money. And what my Ditch the Bank students and my Retire students have learned is that there's so much more that comes before that really helps solidify and make the lending part of it easy, the funding part of it easy, okay? Because there's 10 ways to Sunday to be able to fund your deals. And so hang on, let's just dive into everything. First and foremost, I want to welcome all the new peeps popping in here. So we've had quite a few people jumping in here. I'm not going to name everyone. It's I would love to, but I would spend quite a bit of time here saying hello to each and every one of you. We have Doris, Allison, TK, Nika, Crystal, and such. Like, it's a long list of over 40 people. So I want to just say welcome. Welcome so much. We do cover quite a bit here in this group. It is how to get started in real estate investing and retire early. So we train on wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold, and money lending. And today we're going to cover the lending side of it. So I hope you're ready for this. You may have met my team first, just so that you know who they are. It's Christine. She probably is in your DM, giving you special resources and things that you may need, want. And she may see something that you would need, and she can grab some of our resources and give them to you. Each one of you is in a different spot, so we're here to serve you as much as we can. We train on beginning, intermediate, and scale. So have patience with, getting to know us just a little bit. We want to get to know you. So make sure you're connecting with Christine, Angel, or Angela, one of the three, to be able to get the best possible use out of this group, including myself, okay? And we also did a post with Becky Eastep Noble. A lot of you asked me about business credit, personal credit, and our financial fitness class that is coming out on Thursday. So I want to, it's a post inside of the group. So if you're interested in any of those things, I just want to collect the people that were interested. I'm not spend too much time on that because we're very geared towards real estate, but a lot of that has to deal with real estate. So Becky's our go-to gal. She's part of our company, and I want to make sure that you guys are taken care of with a true, tried, and trusted source to prepare your credit if you need it, for goodness sakes. And then business credit. So we've had students that have done business credit and used it for rehab on their properties, used it for earnest money deposit, used it for marketing, whatever you need in your business. Having a real estate business really, it changes the game, right? It changes the game, and it's no longer based on your personal life, and nothing should be in your personal name. So I geek out on tax and legal side of things, and you should look like a poor broke person on paper. Everything should run through your business. And if you don't have an LLC yet, don't worry about it. You don't need it. The first step is to understand real estate. The very first step is to understand real estate. Okay, so don't worry about any of that business stuff. Unless you're trying to build business credit, jump on with Becky and do business credit, but don't worry about get an LLC just yet. All right. That is one of our, if you guys need the special Volt training, we have the cheat sheet in there. We have the LLC, we have the software systems that we use. We have so many things. If you guys are wanting that special vault of information, the trainings that we did, just type Volt inside of, it's our private vault of trainings, into the comments, and we're happy to get them to you. Okay, let's dive into money lending, how to get your deals funded, right? And again, that vault, your resources, a lot of resources are in there, and Christine will get that to you, just so that you know who will be reaching out to you. So let me introduce myself. Those of you brand new to the group, my name is Joanne Wright, founder of Bottom Line Wealth, and I empower women to invest in real estate and keep more of the money they make, because I geek out on the tax and legal side of things. I'm not a CPA or an attorney, but I used to train on taxes. I used to be licensed, so there's a lot of things I do know, how real estate and taxes work and how businesses work together, so that you pay next to zero in taxes. So that's my whole jam. And I'm glad you're part of this group to either get started or grab your next property, or you're ready to scale, right? One of the two. Okay. Learning creative real estate investing it's crazy. It's a crazy cool place to be. I've been doing it for years. Just closed on 2 properties, no money out of pocket. And this is where I teach ditch the bank methods. You don't need the bank or a ton of cash. You do, let me repeat that. If you're multitasking, come back. You do not need the bank or a ton of cash to close on real estate. So we do a lot of creative real estate investing. And some of you are like, what? How do you even? I'm telling you, okay? Because I do it all day long. I've been living off of real estate for over 20 years. Over 20 years, real estate has been paying for my life. Everything I want, everything that I need is paid through real estate. Okay. I have multiple mortgages that I pay. Well, actually, they pay for themselves through tenants. Okay. So I want the same for you. I want you to be able to get started, get your traction, and then retire when you desire. My youngest to retire was 28 years old. So some of us, I know I surpassed that age a long time ago. But I'm saying you could do it at any age so that you can go follow your passions. Retirement isn't what it used to be, right? You don't have to wait till your golden years to retire. You can retire at any age and go have fun, for fartnuggin' sake. That was a weird word, but just really, like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Go live the life you love and let real estate be the vehicle that gets you there. Just saying, it's worked for me. Okay. So let's dive into money. First and foremost, traditional banking is still out there. It's still an option. I am not entirely knocking it. I just don't prefer it. So if you want to go to Wells Fargo, get pre-qualified and go get a loan, this is all traditional money. That's not what we do here in this community. We do creative real estate investing. Okay, so that there's no money out of your pocket. And here's what I learned years ago when I was doing a ton of wholesale. I was wholesaling my ass off, if you will. And I realized now, today, that I didn't have to. I could have went straight to buy and hold with these creative strategies. So that's what I want to show you guys as we move through our different trainings. And the more questions we get, I want to make sure that you get your questions answered so that you can move the needle. Okay. We got a lot of trainings that we do in here every Wednesday. We're here to meet with you. And then also we have the 5-day challenge coming up. We have different master classes coming up. We just had the ditch the bank training that we did. We have a lot going on that you guys get to participate in. Some for free, some a minimal charge, whatever it is, it's all here for you. Everything that you need to know about real estate is here for you. And it's my love and my passion to be able to empower everyone in here to do so. Okay. Actually, bringing up questions. I wanted to make sure that I answered these questions real quick. Let me see if I can. Uh, Christine sent me these, and I have a question. As a fellow investor, real estate, how do you recommend getting vacant land off market? I'm not, so I would assume it's just like single family residence. I don't play in the vacant land area. Check down high density rental. But what I do know about vacant land is, so if you're planning, Lily, I believe this is you, if you're planning to wholesale it, ask what your end buyer wants. So you can wholesale anything. You can wholesale houses, land, Matchbox cars, real cars. You can wholesale anything. Okay. What does your end buyer want? So think about that for a second. Do they want a certain acreage? Do they want it already plumbed for electrical and water? Do they already want infrastructure, roads? Or do they just want raw land? Okay, those are huge, those are majorly different types of investors. Raw land versus plumbed land, totally different investors. So Lily, I'm going to ask you, who's your end buyer? Okay, so most profitable will be some kind of multifamily developer. What do you guys look for? So we don't look for land. It's great since we're seeing multifamily crash right now. So it's not really a crash, multifamily. It is a restructure. So what I mean by that is there's a lot of notes coming due. So it looks like a crash, but it's just a restructure. And with that being said, yeah, there's always deals coming. There's always deals coming out. Multifamily, this means like, 5 units and up in the commercial world. The commercial land has changed dramatically. So those of you that are in commercial lending or commercial real estate, it's changing dramatically right now. So she's right about that. However, crash is not the word that I would use. So there's a lot of notes that are coming due that need restructuring, and some of them can do it just fine. The banks, though, is what is the problem. So the banks are the issue, not multifamily. I want to make that clear. The banks are having an issue right now, and a lot of restructuring is going on. And there's going to be banks that are swallowing up other banks. March and beyond. I think March 11th is the date on one of them. So many things going on in the banking world that's changing how multifamily is looked at. So I hope that's clear for you. I do not, as far as finding vacant land, it's the same as finding any motivated seller. I would go to Property Radar, Lead Source System, or Title, ask Title for a farm, a realtor who has that information, one of those three, that you can get a hold of the seller off market and create deals that make sense. You could just wholesale it to somebody who wants to buy it. Maybe it is a developer, maybe it's an individual, maybe it's, again, you have to know your end buyer. There's so many different types of end buyers. And to me, that would be the fastest path to cash, is knowing what they want. So you just go grab it and sell it to them. Okay. Or know when you do have something available, you know which bucket to put it in. Oops, hit my microphone here. To sell it to. Okay. And then Marjorie had one said, what's an attorney state? Please explain. An attorney state is when an attorney needs to represent you for title, like they do the title search. So in California, there's a company that does title and escrow together. You don't even know that they're two separate things. It's just one building. When here in Pennsylvania, it's an attorney state. So you have to have an attorney represent you in, they run, the attorney company runs title on all real estate. Okay. It's not just a title company. It's actual a legal entity of an attorney that does the research. Escrow over here is different. It's an abstract company. So the two go hand in hand, still just like California, but California, you don't need an attorney. Pennsylvania, you do. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. And you could also just Google, is Arizona an attorney state? Is Pennsylvania an attorney state? And it'll show you. So it'll list out all the states. Most of the East Coast, a good chunk of it is attorney states. Most of the West Coast, I've noticed, is not. So I invest in seven different states. And I originally started in California. So I have quite a few things I've done throughout the nation. And it seems to me like mostly the West is non and the East is attorney. It's old school way of doing real estate, in my opinion, just in my opinion. And then Nina here, she says, did the cross collateralization within the deal you mentioned support a creative deal, or is that something to avoid? No, so Nina, the cross collateralization, so it was a deal that was being looked at. And so we couldn't figure out the seller said there's no loan on the property, but he said he needed to pay off the hard money loan when he sells the property. So there was a confusion. I go, is there a loan or isn't there a loan? Let's be clear. And come to find out, he had done a cross collateralization with another property. Okay. And so that the property that we're trying to acquire, it was encumbered with another property. That's the best way I can put that, is it's encumbered because it's cross collateralized. They're cross collateralized. They're using that equity in the house to support another building. So he was not able to do seller financing because of that, even though it looked free and clear. So that's where it could be weird. That's why you have to talk to the seller. And why I don't really move much further than my desk here. I'm on the phone. I'm looking at my computer and I'm running through things so that I can get a better idea before I even bother to look at the house. I don't care what state it's in or if it's right down the street. I don't go near it until I have all the data that I need. Okay. And one of my students just asked me, should I do a walkthrough before I make an offer? And I wanted to point that one out here today to everybody that no, do not do a walkthrough before you make an offer. You'll spend a lot of time walking through properties. Now, if you're just doing one and then you're going to let it go at that for a long time, that's one thing. I get it. Okay, that's like home buying. You want to go look at it and see it and touch it before you make an offer. I get it. And there are some sellers, there are some realtors that demand that you look at it first before you send an offer. I get it. Go send somebody. You don't have to be there. Go send somebody. All right. Say I had so-and-so walk through it and here's my offer. It could be a bird dog. It could be another investor in the area. It could be, I got people all across the nation. When I bought my property in Georgia, they were able to, I had an investor walk through it. So I didn't walk through it. So I basically bought it sight unseen, only through the sight of another investor's eyes. So I hope this helps you on your questions. I'm going to dive back into our Get Funding training. So I want to talk a little bit about money. The first one is traditional. And traditional is B of A, Wells Fargo, Chase, all the big boxes we call them. And you can, again, but why would you if you don't need them? You could still do it and know that you're paying 3 to 4 times the amount of the purchase of the, purchasing that property. If you look at the closing statement, the amortization schedule is going to show you it's 3 to 4 times what you're purchasing it for. So just look for that, okay? Hard money is a great way to get your foot in the door, right? Hard money is a great way to get your foot in the door. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you don't have a great credit score. They still look at that, but it's not solely based on that. It's mostly based on the asset. And what they really want to know is your experience. So if you're brand spanking new, they'll still do it for you, but you're going to have a higher rate. So the more experience you have, that rate will come down because they feel safer with you because you've done other properties. Okay. So hard money, you can get your foot in the door, know that there's points and high rates when you use hard money. And sometimes it doesn't pencil out. One of the properties I did in California, it penciled out, and it was because of a relationship I had. I, went to lunch on a regular basis. I sent him referrals. I sent him business. And when it came to me wanting to use it, he goes, you know what, Joanna, since it's you, let's do this. It did not fit his box of lending, right? We all have a buy box, we all have a lending box. It did not fit his, but he said, because it's you, we're going to make it that exception. So here's where relationships go, just golden. They're just golden in this industry. Networking is 98% of real estate investing. You'll get so much done collaborating with people and chatting with people, creating a real relationship with them. Okay. So, and asking them how they are, how's the kids and the dog and the, things like that, so that when you do need someone, you know who to call on. I call it my top 50. Okay. I learned this years ago. My top 50, there's certain people like in certain industries that I keep in contact with that have been good people, and we've done some things, but maybe not full business together, but in the same industry. So I keep that door open. Some have become really good friends, and it's a great way to build your network. And I have them nationwide. I started in California and ended up going in different states, now in Pennsylvania. It just is a buildup of multiple people in multiple areas. So I invite you to do the same. You'll get so much more done, accomplished, the more relationship building that you do, which we have a networking thread inside of the group, the haves, wants, and needs. If you're looking for something specific, you can post it in that thread so that you stand out to the crowd. Introduce yourself into the group, because we're networking. Okay, this is how deals get done. Anyways, and then you find out, oh my God, you just lived down the street from me. So it's interesting. It's a lot of fun. I love real estate. It's fun for me. And then the third thing about money is private, or getting your deals funded, is private money. Know that it's all around you. People go, well, how do you find private money, Joanna? And I want to give you the biggest red flag. The biggest red flag that came across. So one of my private students, she came to me and she said, well, I was in this Facebook group and I said I needed this funding. And this guy says, I'm a private money lender. What's your credit score? And I said, well, that's your red flag right there. Any private money lender is not going to ask you your credit score. It's either a hard money lender or something worse. They're just trying to get your data for their own purposes. Okay. I've watched it happen. Some people will say that they're a lender, give me your bank statements. And then they're actually a wholesaler, and they'll use that as proof of funds to go lock something up. All right. So that is scrupulous. Please don't do that. Please don't give out your bank statements, your credit card, your social security number to anybody. To anybody. Do not have your credit pulled. All right. So when you're speaking to lenders, traditional and hard money, you could say, I have around a 612. What can you do for me? I don't have any lates. I'm around a 612. What do you got? And they'll go, okay, it looks like you fit into this box. All right. So they'll do that for you. Every single one of them wants to pull your credit. Don't let them. Protect that social security number like it's gold. Okay. And so back to private money lending, to know that there are private money lending. This handshake right here. Hey, I've got this money and you've got a deal. Let's do one. Great. That's what private money looks like. That's the qualification. That money gets to get insured and secured against deed of trust on that property. So no matter who you are, their money is safe in that asset. Did you guys track with me on that? Their money is safe regardless of you. Okay. So, and I say that because I've had someone tell me, why would anyone lend me money? Well, they're lending money on a house that's going to get a return on investment. And if you don't perform, they foreclose on you. It's a win-win. And that should motivate you to do your best, because you don't want your foreclosure, right? So you're going to do your best. And if something goes wrong, who are you when something goes south? That's where the relationship comes into, because not everything goes as planned. You just have that conversation and renegotiate, or say, this is how it's going to be because we got stuck on this, or hey, we're right on target, right? you're getting your return on this. And they're actually usually more depressed when I tell them that we're on target, because that means they're not going to make any more money. So just FYI, lots of love to my money lenders, my private money lenders. I have deals happening all the time, and they actually go, well, when do you have another deal, Joanna? Because I want to put my money in your deal. And I go, great, let's, and I let them know, I keep them abreast of what's coming up, the next deal that's coming up. And they'll be the first one that I contact so that I can put their money to work. They want their money to go to work, go find friends, bring them back so that they can grow their money. Okay. This is the conversations that you get to have with people. If they have a Roth IRA, if they have a 401k, if it's in the CD, or one investor I had in California, his money was in a mattress, right? So it could be anywhere. It could be anywhere. Regardless of where it's at, they're not getting the return that they can get on real estate. Just saying, they're not going to get that kind of a return. Maybe someone gets a HELOC on their house, right? And gets extra cash. Right now, the HELOCs are like at 7 to 8%. So they're not cheap. However, if they're getting more than that, it pays for that interest pulled out, plus they get extra. So you have to know where the money's coming from on how to structure it. All right. And this is what I help my private students to go over, is how to structure the deal so that it makes sense for everybody. Maybe it's a combination of, seller financing, hard money lender, and private money lender. It could be a combination of all of those things to put the deal together. Regardless of your deal, everything should pencil out to where the rent should cover. So this is us holding property, right? The rent should cover everything that you have underneath that involves that house. All the each loan payment that you have, maybe it's 1, maybe it's 3, who knows? Each for property taxes, for maintenance, for all things involved, right? The rents should cover it. Now, if you're doing a fix and flip, because we train on wholesale fix and flip, buy and hold, and money lending, know that the house should pay for that. Okay. Know your end buyer. What do they want? What are they looking for? Because maybe they're looking for that tree as well, that umbrella, that the rent covers everything. All right. So being a good investor is if you're a wholesaler, understanding the end buyer as an investor, and then as you, the fix and flipper, or the buy and hold person, knowing your criteria makes it easier for the deals to go that much quicker. Okay. For the money lenders to say yes, because you know your shit, your market, your turn time, your numbers, how to comp out properties. We're just going over comping properties. That's another training, but they're really dialing it in. My private students are really dialing in comping out properties, because most realtors don't know how to comp out properties. So newbie investors, I'm sure you don't either. All right. So there is very little training on comping properties the correct way. And I do it according to an appraiser, nobody else's thoughts and theories, but the appraisal process. That's how I train on running comps, just so that you know. And you know who's going to appreciate that? Your lenders, right? Whether it's traditional, whether it's hard, whether it's a private money lender, they're going to go, your numbers. I've had it said to me several times, because lenders refer to appraisers' way of comping out properties. Most realtors don't know how to do it. They take a guess at it. It's something that their broker taught them that even their broker doesn't even really know. I'm sorry, but it just is the game. I've been in this game for a couple of decades, and it's just true. All right. So I hope this is helpful for you guys. Let me see if I can find you. Hold on. If I can. All right. All right. So just checking the chat here to see if I missed anybody. I don't think I did. How do you refinance without the bank? So you can't, well, if you're going to refinance, you're technically refinancing into the bank. So what makes this easier, Melissa, is, when you're purchasing a property, it's harder to purchase than it is to refinance. Okay, so that's what I mean by acquiring real estate without the bank. You can go years without using the bank or refinancing. Okay, if you refinance, you're probably 9 times out of 10 going to refinance into a bank, right? Into traditional financing, right? So if that's your game, if you're doing the BRRRR strategy, there are what we call a hybrid of private and hard money lenders that will do long-term real estate. That is not the bank. And if you're going to choose, again, choose a mortgage broker to refinance with, not the bank. Ditch the bank entirely. They're not your friend. Just saying. They're in the pockets of the government, but we won't get political on this. But use a mortgage broker and or one of those hybrid private money lender, hard money lender people that they can do 5, 12, 15 years on a refinance. So there's other ways around it, Melissa. I'm glad you asked that question. All right, anything else that I can support you guys with? Looks like we're clean right now. Thank you for listening. Hashtag replay if you guys join us on the replay, and I will catch you guys on the next training. Bye.